Hello and welcome to Fun Fresh Friday. I know it says, you know, live with Stefania and Zanetta, but me. You're going to have me tonight. But without, you know, I'm always asking, would you kind of join? Would you want to talk about this? And I can always count on my good friend. So we're gonna have a wonderful, wonderful treat tonight. And I'm gonna bring my friend up in a few minutes. But I wanted to say to Stefania, if you do tune in, Stefania, you need to turn it back off. Yes, enjoy. Enjoy your vacation. So I wanted to just, let Stefania know that I really appreciate her. I really do appreciate your time, your effort, because I know it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to come on live every week. That's an hour of your life that you're just sitting here and talking. I mean, it's not just sitting here and talking, but we are talking about great contents that do matter and that we would like to have a discussion, a real discussion. We don't force our opinions because it is what it is. It is our opinion. It's not gospel. It's not law, but it is our opinion. So we don't force that. We want to have other, you know, uh, conversations from different perspective, and we welcome that because to get a big picture of different perspective from different people and different walks of life and different cultures, it always makes it wonderful. So, well, hello, Wendy. Good evening. Thank you for joining. I can send you the link as well. So, we are going to talk about, is love enough? I was having a conversation just the other day, and I asked, is love enough? Is love able to sustain whatever it is that we're going to go through, or whatever trials and tribulations and different things that we encounter in our in this life called this journey called life? Is love enough? We hear a lot of songs, we hear a lot of quotes. There's even such thing as love language, and we're going to talk about that as well. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring in the guest that said, oh, yes, I would love to talk about that. So, everyone, I want to welcome Dr. James Carpenter Barnes. Welcome to Fun Fresh Friday, Dr. Barnes.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, thank you for. I mean, I can always count on you and Wendy. I am just grateful. Just
You
my
are
heart is
you
always.
are you are family. You are, as they say in the Hebrew community, you are mishpocha.
Oh, say that again.
Mishpocha, which
It
means family.
reminds me of I'm a Disney fanatic, so it
Okay.
reminds me of the Lion King when the three hyenas were saying, "What's his name? Mufasa."
Mufasa. There
just
you go.
hearing, just hearing the name, like, ooh.
Yes.
So yes, family, awesome. So we're going to talk about, is love enough?
Wow. Is love enough?
Hmm.
Actually, if it's the right kind of love, because you know, um, you have money and then you have fake money,
Hmm.
counterfeit money. It looks like it from a distance till you get up close.
Hmm.
It seems like it until you try to spend it. And love is the same way.
Hmm.
It can look real
Hmm.
until you get up close and you need it. It
Hmm.
feels real until you need it to support you and it's not there because it's counterfeit.
Hmm.
So love without legitimacy and sincerity and commitment is like counterfeit money.
Mm-hmm.
is only as good as it appears. And some counterfeit money is better than others. Most of it will land you in a place of bondage called jail.
Mm.
And love, fake love, counterfeit love, can land you in a place of bondage,
Hmm.
a place of servitude, especially if the person who, as they say, is perpetrating against you is a narcissist. If they're self-serving, if they're a sociopath, or just a person that uses people,
Mm-hmm.
they can appear to, they say the right words, and just like counterfeit money has the right denominations, it has the serial number, it has the right president's face on it, and all of the emblems. But the difference is, it was not, and this is important. Love is only enough when the author of that love is not the two participants, but
Mm.
that the author of that love is the creator who gave us life, the creator who is love.
Mm-hmm.
And because he is love, I believe firmly that true love, it emanates from God's presence, where
Mm-hmm.
I've observed in relationships where God is given preeminence and he remains in that place. Sometimes we start out that way. Like, you start a new job, you at work on time, all your reports are in on time, all your assignments are done. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Uh-huh.
I'll take care of that right
Uh-huh.
away. Volunteer. But then after you get comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like the commercial that they used to show, where there's a guy and he's wooing this woman, and he has the voice of Maurice Chevalier,
Mm.
and he's saying, "Oh, my love, I adore you. I
Yeah.
worship you. I cherish you. Anything that is your desire, I will provide. The apple of your eye, I will rise up and pull it from the sky."
Mm, okay.
Then about 6 months later, he's sitting on the couch, belching, scratching his stomach, saying, "Hey, hand me a beer." You know, so
Huh.
so true love is steady.
Okay.
It's not trying to be flashy. It's not trying to serve itself. So no, love in the sense of the word is not enough. There are elements, there are facets
Mm.
that make up the word love
Mm-hmm.
that we can only define, because truthfully, we use that word, but we really don't understand what it means, because it's not of this world.
Right. So, because there's a lot of things that's going through my mind right now as you were talking. I should be jotting it down so I can, you know, because when you go, and you do drop a lot of nuggets, and I'm like, um, so like what you said, the word love itself is not enough. There's a lot of facet that goes into it.
Mhm.
You know, so in it, and also, we don't really understand, what love really is, because it's not out, it's not in this world, but it's out of this world.
Mhm.
So each and every one of us has their own definition of love. Would you agree on that?
I definitely agree. Some people equate love to a sensation. Some
Mm-hmm.
people equate love to hormonal responses. Some people equate love to the fact that they've lost their appetite.
Mm.
But food poisoning can do that, you know.
That is so true.
Yeah,
Yes,
food
yes.
poisoning can make you lose your
It
appetite,
it sure
and
can. It sure can.
so so love is not the physical sensations, though that is one of the attributes, and it's one of the least of the attributes.
Mm.
It's just like revenue or prosperity.
Uh-huh.
There's 7 streams of revenue, of wealth. I'll say.
Mhm.
Let me say, use the word wealth. And those 7 streams consists of, the very first one is wisdom. The second one is vision.
Mm-hmm.
The third stream of wealth is knowledge and its application. The fourth stream is a good name. The fifth stream is relationships, profitable
Mm-hmm.
relationships.
Mm-hmm.
The sixth stream is land and investments. And the
Mm-hmm.
very last stream is money.
Mm.
But people put money ahead and they feel when they have money, they have wealth. If you don't have those other six things, you won't have that money very long.
That is true.
And
So
it's the
in
same thing with love. You can have the physical sensation. You can have the fact that when I look at you and I see how beautiful your hair is, or I just like the way you walk, the way your body moves when you walk, or she likes the way his chest moves when he does certain things, and the way he looks in his clothing. That is really admiration, which
mm-hmm.
is a facet of love,
Mm.
but it is not love.
Mm.
Love is really a very down and, how can I put it? A very down and difficult um, commodity. I don't even want to say commodity. I would say entity.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Mm-hmm.
powerful it is, because the scriptures talks about how love endureth all things, it beareth all things,
Mm-hmm.
and it seeks not itself.
Mm.
It seeks to serve its object. That's not glamorous.
No, no, it isn't.
That's not very Hollywood.
So, no. So the most used argument, I would say, or excuse to a couple. I just want to say couple. I don't want to, tie down, married people and all of that, but to a couple. And this phrase that has been used so many times: if you love me, you would dot 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 dot. That's a very
It
dangerous
is. It
phrase
is.
or
It is.
statement
It
to
is.
use.
It is, because what you've just done is indicted yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And what you should really be saying, if you say that to me, then my response would be, if you really love me, you wouldn't ask me to do that.
Right?
You know, it's one thing to say, hey, would you do so and so? I was having a conversation just the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, it's a big difference when you ask a person to perform something for you, to go to the store for you, to give you this or help me with that, or to do this or that. So would you, if you could, I really appreciate it. As opposed to, look, you better get over there. And when I told this person that it was a young lady, when I told her that, we were making this analogy, her eyes flared.
Mm.
Her eyes flared. She shifted because it was somewhere she'd been. She'd been in
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a lot of us live in a past present reality where we reach into the past and pull it into our present reality, and our
Yes.
bodies secrete
Yes.
that hormone, that adrenaline, that power, that fight or flight to
Yeah.
defend.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've been here before, and I had to put my dukes up,
Mm.
and so it when you really love,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you don't ask a person to do something that they're not comfortable doing. They may have a fear of it, they're uncomfortable with it, but
Right.
you want it. That is
Right.
self-serving. You know what that's called? It's the flip side of lust. It ain't even the flip side of lust. It's on the other side of town from love. It's lust.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the same book, because the flip side of love is joy. On that
Mm-hmm.
coin, that's love and joy.
Mm-hmm.
And so lust demands and requires, and people think because of the hormonal responses that are generated, it's
Mm.
love.
Mm.
girl,
Oh,
that
mm-mm.
man, he did some things to me.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm in love. Now you all shook up. Uh-huh.
I'm all shook up.
You all shook up. You think it's that count, like I said, that counterfeit money.
Yeah.
When it's not real love, eventually it's going to tarnish. Eventually, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to the true nature
Mm.
of what you've been experiencing is going to reveal itself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
conversely, you can be in a relationship where you can have a friendship because one of the Greek words for love is um, philios, and then you have eros, and you have
Eros.
agape.
Agape. Mm-hmm.
And so there are different forms. You have family love, you have friendship, you have you have your eros, your romantic love,
Mm-hmm.
and so and then you have agape, which is the highest order, which is the love. As I said earlier, it 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 flows from
Mm.
our Creator. It flows from the being, the entity, the Creator that brought all of this into being. That's a part of his essence that we all crave. Everybody wants
Right.
to be loved.
Right. Right.
But unfortunately, that counterfeit thing is for my pastor used to say all the time, for every real there is a phony.
Yes. Yes.
So love, the word love
Mm.
itself on the face of it, no, it's not enough.
Yeah. Wouldn't you say, because I like how you said that wealth has many facets, to make it real wealth, because, we always associate wealth with money, when in actuality, it has these different facets. And the same thing with love. Would you say that value is one facet of love?
Value?
Value.
What do you mean? Explain that. You say value.
So, like the saying, or the phrase, if you love me, you would dot dot dot.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't value the relationship.
Oh, okay. The word
Uh-huh.
that you're looking for is one of the four essential qualities that
Mm-hmm.
every human being needs. And the fourth one is esteem.
Mm.
If you esteemed our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
in other words, if you put it in a place of honor, respect, and put it before yourself, you wouldn't ask me to do that
Right. Right.
because you already know. We know, you know that, but you know what's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then by you adding that, you know that you're putting pressure. Let me say this too. People are under the misconception because of religious teachings that lust is limited to sexual or sensual or financial um, cravings or desires,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't true. The fact of the matter is, it's also, well, let me put it this way. Lust is anything that wants something it's not supposed to have, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pressure. There's always pressure. The person that is lusting is putting pressure on the object of that love, of that lust. Whereas
Yeah.
a person who is in love
Mm-hmm.
is lavishing that love upon the object of their love, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's always a direction,
Mm-hmm.
and it's always emanating from one uh, being, because we're all spirit.
Yeah.
We're sending out an energy to another person. Now, it could be love or it could be lust,
Mm-hmm.
and and people have the wrong conception of what love really is. There's so many different types of love. There's people that that I'm very close to, male and female. And there's no, well, it's always a dynamic of giving, seeking to give, seeking, like my supervisor is always seeking to give, extends and reaches to serve those that are under that management, because the mindset is we are a cooperative. And if I pour myself into the cooperative, you're going to see my example and pour yourself into the cooperative. And because of that, you've created now a community. You've created a synergy. You've created an environment of productivity that without that initiation from the top down, it wouldn't happen. Because I watched it, and I shared this with people. I said, every office, no matter where you work, it has a spirit. And generally, it has the spirit of the person at the top. And people don't take love to work. They don't. They take ambition. They take competition. They take survival. They take economic concerns. They take, and these, I'm talking people who are supposed to be followers of God, tied to Christ, that are believers. They don't take love to work. I do. I demonstrate it to the people I work with, which has given me tremendous esteem among my peers. They don't know what it is.
So would you say, because my gosh, first I wanted to ask you if you put your profile on public. I text you privately.
I did.
Oh, okay. I just making sure. Because this is some good stuff. This is really good stuff, because we get caught in a relationship, and like what you said, we live in the past present. We bring the past into the present, thinking that it's the same thing. No, it isn't.
No.
And do we show up in our relationships without love? Because truth be told, and I'm going to be the first one to say this, I did not know what love really was. I thought it was, saying I do, and I'm going to honor you. I'm going to, obey you, take care of the children, cook and clean, do my duties as a wife, go to church. What are these other things, these aspects? Those are all external, for a lack of a better word, those are external actions of satisfying the other person.
Which your maid can do.
That's why some maids. No, let me just.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's exactly, you said it right there, because cooking, cleaning has nothing whatsoever to do with loving somebody. It's something that people have been trained to do. You can train an animal to perform certain acts, and people, oh wow, what a smart dog, what a smart cat. But when the fact of the matter is, when you are looking at the duties a person performs and using that as your measuring stick for how much they love you, you are abusing that person. That if it's your spouse, if it's your brother, your sister, your coworker, if you're measuring their love for you by what they do for you that you want done. Now, I'm not speaking of things that you have need of. I'm talking, see, love is intangible, and the things that true love provides, it manifests in the physical realm, because we live in a physical world where we're 1/3 physical beings. But the fact of the matter is that the motivation behind those actions are driven by an invisible force that is called God.
My, my. Now,
That's what causes a mother to throw herself in front of a car for her child. That's what causes a mother to stand between her child and her drunken husband, knowing he's gonna lay into her.
mm-hmm,
That's what love does.
mm,
It drives you, it compels you, it enables you to perform miracles.
mm.
Compassion is extreme love and extreme passion combined to create miracles, to perform miracles. And when a person says, they're saying, I love you, but you slapping me at the same time, be it physically, emotionally, or mentally, or you're tying up your purse strings, I can't go buy a pair of shoes without hearing it from you.
My God, can you repeat that one more time? Because, gosh, this is really good. I hope you allotted a little bit more than an hour because this has been a passion of mine because it took me over 30 years, over 30 years to understand what love really is. I found love at the age of 50, being married before for 25 years. And
There are
that's
people who are 60 who still haven't found it.
and this is, and this is why, our show, I'm so passionate about our show is so that we can talk about certain topics that are culturally accepted,
Hmm.
socially um, uh, performed, because it's what it's accepted. That's what social, the society accepts. That's what society puts out,
Hmm.
and we are caught in this dilemma of of this state of when you're in a relationship, you're trying to get out of it because you know you're being abused, and the person doesn't understand it or doesn't see it, but sees it as quote unquote love. We need to talk about these are the things that we need to talk about, especially um, like the I like to I'm a cynical at heart. I like to look at certain things, analyze it to the T. I mean, just keep on analyzing, analyzing, analyzing. Like the five love languages.
Hmm.
Personally, I don't like it. I don't think there's five languages of love. I think love speaks for itself. That's just me. You know, I don't think that doing something for me equates to you loving me.
No, it's just, as I said, true love is spiritual. And the book that you helped me to release, that you edited for me, Looking for God, Look No Further, Look Within.
Hmm.
One part of that book, one of the chapters is ask a question: is love your motive?
Oh.
Why do you do what you do? Why
Mm,
do you do what you do?
mm,
And it's not a feeling. It has nothing to do with a feeling. It has to do with a decision. God
mm,
loved us because he made a choice to love us. He
mm.
didn't have to.
Right.
He chose to love us. We choose to love who we love.
Right.
And when we do that without extraneous physical things being attached to it, I love her because she got big breasts. I love her because she's got nice legs. I love him
Mm,
because he's really handsome, or he's 6'4", or he drives a Mercedes, or he drives a Lamborghini, or he does this. He loves that, and we're always tying external things to a spiritual condition that does not require those things.
hmm.
It's nice to do, it's nice to perform those things, it's nice to do, but that does not define your love for me.
Right. My
Your
God.
love for me, see, my love for you, Zanetta,
Mm-hmm.
is when I get up at 4:30 and I'm praying for you and God gives me something for you because I'm concerned about you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not looking for recognition. I'm not in front of people. I'm not doing this to be seen. I'm doing it because true love serves.
Yes. Or post it on Facebook. I woke up early
Or-
this morning
yeah, yeah,
and
exactly. True love seeks to serve.
mm-hmm.
And if you're not desiring to serve,
Mm,
the object of you, the person you say you love, which means putting their desires ahead of your own,
mm,
putting your things on the side, put them on layaway, on hold, while you help this person fulfill their dream. See, that's love. That's love in action because there's always a parallel, always a parallel, always a parallel to what we do in relationship to what God did.
mm,
God laid aside his deity and came into the earth
mm-hmm.
and sacrificed himself to bring us to himself to be one with him.
Yes.
That's what love does. It puts aside your own personal agenda and seeks the best for the person you say you love. So, love, the word love, is really in many people's lives hormones. And the younger they are, the more hormones are involved.
That is so true. So I'm going to take this time to really acknowledge our viewers and their comments. I know some of them it'll say Facebook user, but if you can put your name, that'll be great. Some of them I do know because they're on my page. But if they're on your page, James, or if they're on somebody else's page, then it'll just say Facebook user because of the privacy that they have on their Facebook. So we're going to acknowledge Natalie Davis when she said good evening, and thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned in, please, because we're talking about a topic that it is so misunderstood and so misused and abused. And James is perfect for this topic to explain certain things that we can understand and gives you the permission as to what you're actually feeling on the inside.
Mhm.
If it lines up, with what James is talking about, then you know, listen. If you're just now joining in, please go back to the beginning because James had dropped a whole bunch of nuggets that I had to pull some reins really quick and tell him to slow down and repeat that. So, Facebook user, I know this is Monica Reed. Thank you for watching and joining in. Yes, love serves. Actually, you said eternity, right? So, um, and then she also said, if you really love me, you wouldn't ask me to do that. She was making comments during those time. And Wendy, just love your definition of lust. I actually love your definition of lust. If there's a way that you can recapture that and put it on a page or a quote, that would be wonderful. And this one is a really great nugget. You people do not take love to work. That is a drop the mic moment, an aha moment, a clarity moment that is wow. Because if we don't do that, if we don't bring love to work, then where else do we go that we don't bring love to? So that's it's a question now. And she says, speak, teach, preach, James. I don't know who that is, but yeah. So, and then Wendy had chimed in when we were talking about the different acts that we we say when it comes to love. As children, we are taught the actions and duties and gifts are the ways of showing love, especially girls. And this is so true. This is so true because we, um, like what I said earlier, I'm home taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, and then in that, in return, the significant other buys gifts. Oh, bring you flour, bring you jewelry. I'm not a jewelry person. I finally told Jeff he need to stop buying me jewelry because I'm not a jewelry person. I would rather have him, um, you know, just out of the blue, come on with me. Let's go to the water and just sit there and have a conversation.
Hmm.
That to me means the world because coming home early from work, I just thought that I would come home from work early because I wanted to spend time with you. That's me. Wow, you really put priority. I'm priority. So that's oh my goodness, Claudia, thank you so much for tuning in. I really am so happy. Claudia is one of my good friends. She's a great author, great speaker, great coach. I feel that true love is expressed from our imagination. How are we imagining the other person? Are we imagining lovely, lovingly, or from a conditional space?
Now, you know what?
Whoa.
I got to say something about that
Yes.
because that's something I've been teaching on for the last going on 3 years, well, longer than that. The power of imagination is huge.
Mm.
And unfortunately, because we don't really understand what love is really, what the purpose of love is to be a motivating factor. It
Hmm.
is that part of the creator that he's placed within us and to us for us to esteem one another. Because the four the four streams that are taught in the Torah about the four aspects of that human beings need is we need wisdom, we need power, we need wealth, and we need esteem. Those are four of the things we need in this life. So when we are able to, through the imagination, esteem, because the things we imagine are things we do. When you leave home, you have a vision going to work. You have a vision in your mind. You've imagined the path you're going to take to go to work. Now, if you're trying to go to your mother's house or your brother's house or to the grocery store, but you have a picture of work, where are you going to wind up? You're going to wind up with what at your work because that's what you see.
Hmm.
If you are looking at your significant other or the people around you
Mm.
through the wrong lens, using the wrong measuring stick, which is what have
Oh,
you done for me lately?
oh,
That's the
oh,
measuring stick in today's world. What have you done
oh,
for me lately?
my.
Or what do you have to offer me? I saw a video the other day where this guy, he's trying to talk to this the young lady and he felt she was attractive. She said, whoa, 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 hold up, hold up. She said, you're not just going to come to me and talk to me with one of your lame pickup lines. I said, oh, well, what do I need? She pulled out Cash App. Cash App. Yeah. You got to pay me $200. If you really want to talk to me, if you really want to be a part of my life, give me $200. So you know what he did? He said, okay, give me put it in your phone. He took it and he sent $200 to himself from her phone. Now, the object of what I got out of that is
Uh-huh.
when you play that game, you seeking to get, you're going to get got.
Hmm.
All right. But that's
Wow.
again, that's lust, pressure. She put
Mm,
pressure on him and he took advantage of it.
mm.
When you play that game, you can't win. You cannot outdo spiritual principles with humanistic intellect. It's
Wow.
not possible
Wow.
because the creator has been doing what he does from time immemorial. And the evil that's in the world has been doing what it does from time immemorial. So if we align ourselves with the creator, we're going to see the benefits of that, which is serving each other, envisioning. Another thing, what I really liked that Claudia said was imagining from a place of love, because this, I shared this before, when I'm at work and I talking with a person, they're looking to get a promotion. I say, this is what you need to do. I'm going to see you in that promotion, and I want you to see yourself in that promotion. I don't want you to look into that promotion. I want you to get in it and look at the world from within the promotion. See yourself doing it and looking out into the world, being seen in that position. If it's a house you want, see yourself sleeping in that house, washing dishes in that house, cleaning the floors, cooking dinner, hollering at the kids, having an argument with your spouse, on the phone talking to your friends while you're watching dinner and you're doing this all at the same time in that house. Believe from within the thing you desire. And if we do that with our relationships, think of the world we would have
Right.
if we all sought to serve from a place, from the imagination, envisioning, creating, not visualizing, because visualizing, you're looking from the inside out. I'm sorry, from the outside in.
That's the
We're
outside in.
taking in what you see.
Mm-hmm.
That's visualizing. It's external. Envisioning is from within. You create within you the thing you desire to see manifest in that relationship, in that friendship, even a business relationship. As I said before, people don't take love to work, they don't take love into their business. I did. When I did
Mm-hmm.
mortgages, I took love into every appointment. I didn't know this person, but I knew God knew them. And I knew God loved them. And my thought, my position is, if
Wow.
God thinks enough of them to love them, who am I to say I don't love them? You don't have to love a person. You don't have to know a person to love them. It's a decision.
Right,
Not
right.
about, well, I don't know you. I don't know. I don't know you. We haven't interacted. You know that God created that, caused that person to be in the earth. You should know that God has put something in that person to serve humanity. So what you're looking at a vessel that God has caused to be born into the earth, that has survived against the odds to serve a purpose, maybe the exclusive purpose of doing a business deal with you that changes your life.
Wow. Yeah.
And see,
Yeah.
when we look at everything, that's how I live my life. I do. The television stations I'm on, the relationships I have with the owners of these stations, it's not about money. It's not about who I am, who I know. It's about the love that I demonstrate and exhibit, the love that's in the words that I share, and the message that I bring, that
Yes.
creates the bond. Love is so powerful
Yes,
when
it
it's not
is.
counterfeit, when it's not
Mm.
fiat currency, when it's real, genuine, heartfelt from the creator through us.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I was just thinking about when you were talking, you just talking, and I was just different flashbacks coming from from my memory. Um, my job as an investigator, I investigate discrimination in the workplace. So I do. I have to interview certain just alleged discriminatory acts, and because I know that the process is very stressful, that I explain the whole thing to them, making sure that they're fully equipped as to what they're getting themselves into. And my my feedback from these individuals, whether it be the complainant, whether it be the alleged harasser, discriminator,
Hmm.
whether it be the witnesses, all of them say the same thing to me. My gosh, Zanetta, you make this process seem so easy. I said, because I know it's already stressful and I
Mm,
just want to alleviate just a little. Just, it's still, there's still going to be some stress. But how you explained that you bring love to work, you bring love to your business, you bring love to your friendship, you bring love to all of that is because you, I can only explain me. I want to give what I feel like is needed
hmm.
at at whatever situation I find myself in.
Yeah.
And I will pour myself, I will pour whatever it is that I have within me into whatever it is, like for the job. I will pour my knowledge, I will pour the process, I will pour the different regulations when it comes to disability, when it comes to uh, um, religion, when it comes to, so I'll pour that and it gives them comfort, which makes my job so much easier
Hmm.
because then they'll pour themselves into it as well. So thank you for really explaining you should take love wherever you go,
Absolutely. And
whatever
and
you do.
because there's a reward,
Yes.
you experience the reward of that, and um, it's the scripture says that he despised not the shame or the cross, looking at the reward that lay before him.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we, the Lord told me years ago, He said, for every decision you make in my favor, I'm going to make two in yours.
Mm.
And what that means is there's always two, you always have a choice to make. When
Mm-hmm.
somebody does you wrong or is you're in a bad situation, you have a choice to respond or react. When you react, it is a violent, sudden, uncontrolled action that takes place. A response is something that you have stepped back and you sponsor, you own, and you control
Mm-hmm.
that response. And when you do that, you're able to move from a higher place
Mm-hmm.
of consciousness, a higher place of spirituality. And because you cannot solve, Albert Einstein said this years ago, hundreds, maybe 100 years ago, you cannot solve level one problems with level one thinking.
Mm.
If you and I are having a disagreement, we're bickering, we're arguing, you feel you're right, I feel I'm right. One of us needs to go to a higher source for a solution and say, hey, I found the answer. Come on up here. You'll see, let me show you. And you pull that person up and you both see this is the better way
Mm.
because the way of the creator, which is love, it's
Mm-hmm.
joy, it's peace, it's gentleness, it's goodness. And people look at those words and they think they're words of weakness, words of passivity, and
Mm.
people who are weak-willed and they think of meekness as somebody that's just beaten down. Meekness is strength under
Mm-hmm.
control.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Love. Do you know how much love it takes not to strike back when someone strikes you?
Mm.
Do you know how difficult it is to have joy in the midst of heartbreak? Do you know
Right.
how difficult it is to have peace in the midst
Of
of your
war.
world falling
Mm-hmm.
apart?
Yeah.
To be gentle when others are being rough and coarse with you.
Mm.
Every one of those fruit of the Spirit is not an easy thing to do, yet we are instructed to demonstrate the fruit of the
Yes.
Spirit.
Yes.
See, and love is the very first one. It holds it all together.
Yes.
All right. And so love has height, it has
Yeah.
width, and it
Mm-hmm.
has
Yeah.
breadth, but it
Mm-hmm.
also have depth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Depth is the fourth dimension.
Mm.
Depth is you're looking into something. See, in other words, when Paul wrote this, he went
Mm-hmm.
this way, and this way.
Mm-hmm.
But when he said depth, the word depth in the Greek is profundity, the
Mm-hmm.
profoundness of his love, which
Yes.
is the part we can't measure.
Right. Right.
It's so deep, it's so powerful that but when you give yourself to it, because that's all I got. I don't have nothing else.
Right.
I tell the Lord, I say, Lord, all I have is you and your love. That's all I have. I don't have anything else that really means anything.
Mm.
The love of God has always been, ever since I came out the street and I discovered this being that always existed and I heard about, but I really didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out his love, and I couldn't get enough of it. I
Mm.
was I was living in a car on the lakefront, and I'd been selling drugs and running the street and doing all kind of things, playing music, but I didn't understand what love was. I mean, real, true love, and it took
Yeah.
me years
Yes.
to understand. It is merely laying down your life for someone else, for them to benefit, for them to
Mm.
move forward, for them to advance. And when you do that, what you've done is you have laid yourself low, you've humbled yourself. And the
Mm.
scripture says those of us that do that, we are also elevated in due
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So there's a reward, just like you were saying at work. You come in with that compassion because you have a very powerful personality. So you could very easily cut a person up. You could very easily, as they say, put them in their place.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
when
I
you
have that
embrace,
authority
I
to put
know you got
them in their
now, and just
place. Yeah.
because you can put foot to butt doesn't mean you have to, right?
So, so true. Yes.
Just because
So
you
true.
can doesn't mean you should.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And the thing I love about my wife Wendy is she really helped me to be even. I was already a giving person, but I've learned being with her and being around Christian, I really, really understand what it means to give of yourself with no expectation of reward.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best gift that
Yes.
you can ever experience, when you give without expectation of recognition, reward, being saluted and commended and patted on the back for he's a jolly good fellow. You're not looking for
Mm-hmm.
none of that.
Right.
But and you do it and people don't even know you did it.
Mm.
They don't
Yes.
even know you did it.
Yes. Yeah.
But God sees.
So true. I'm gonna. Wow. This is just wonderful. James, I am going to hold on. So Stefania must have not tuned in early. She says, "Hello, my beautiful lovelies. Hello, darling. Hello, Bella. Um, hopefully you already logged off because you're supposed to be having fun. So,
Well, in fairness, when I was on before,
uh-huh.
you were vacationing and Stefania
I
was telling you the same thing.
I was, but I was relaxing on the
You was on,
poolside, and I was, just basking in the sun. That is true. In all fairness,
yeah.
um, and also, I wanted to acknowledge Antonio Harrington. He's there in Chicago, and very good friend of mine, family friend. We've known each other. He's known me. If you want to know some dirt, Antonio is the person to talk to. But no, I love him very dearly. Love him, and yes. So I will be conversing with him because I would want him to join me when I do show up in person for the Page Award. And I
Yes.
am going to plug on this show every week until we get to November 6th, that please, go to Wendy's website, and we'll also put it on the chat here, and we'll start publishing and putting out of the Page Award. It's a really good organization. It's the You Belong organization. It's for nonprofit. It's for the disabled community, and
Yeah.
we want to be able to give and help.
Yes. Yes.
And so, do show up, and so yes. So I'm gonna be taking my brother with me, Antonio, to be in that.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay. Back to gosh, is love enough? So from your description, James, it seems like the the song that the Beatles had made um, uh, very famous, that everyone in the globe knows how, what the tune is,
Yeah.
all you
You
need is
need is
love.
love. Da,
Yeah.
da, da, da.
Yes. um, is that actually we really don't know what that love is that the Beatles were
You,
talking about or singing about.
you, it's difficult to know what love is if you don't know who love is.
Mm, wow.
You you have to really know love from, in the Greek they call it epignosis, which is an experiential knowledge,
Hmm.
as opposed to gnosis, which is a knowledge that you've read about,
Mm,
but you haven't experienced it.
mm,
It's true love can only be experienced. True love, not a love, but the kind of love that we're talking about that endures throughout eternity, the love that changes lives and brings healing into people's bodies
mhm,
and encourages a broken heart and mends broken homes and performs all manner of miracles.
mhm,
That kind of love is only possible when you know who that love is, the source of
mhm.
that. And if you're not connected to that, you have a shadow of what it is. We have it in us as human beings, but I have found that the closer we get to the creator in
Mm,
our lives,
mhm,
and I'm
mhm.
not talking about a religious thing, I'm talking
Right,
about
right.
in your demonstration. Love is something you demonstrate. It's not, love is an action word. It's a decision and it's an action word.
Mhm.
I can tell you I love you, Zanetta. You girl, I love you. I just love you. I've been loving you a long time. I've loved you. I loved you when we was 12 and I loved you when we was 64.
Mhm.
And but every time you need me for something, I'm nowhere to be found.
Or have
Every
excuses.
I have a mouthful of excuses. But again, love doesn't do it. And that's something I'm conscious of. For example, um, the television channel we're on, JD3 TV, there's a speakers camp.
Mhm,
And Wendy and I both wanted to go. And I said, well, look, I think you should go. And she said, well, why? I said, because I believe you will benefit more from it. And I refuse to put myself first.
mhm,
I refuse to do that in our relationship because we have three rules. There's no lying, there's no inequity, and there's no retaliation.
mm,
So what no inequity means, what if I can go spend $500 on a guitar amp, she can go spend $5 on some shoes.
mm.
And it's not about one upping one another. It's that we have that right if we so choose
Right, right.
without facing repercussions from our mate.
Mhm,
And when you have that freedom, all of a sudden the things you think you want, you really don't.
Right.
Because that lust can't come in because there's no pressure.
Mm.
Love can when love is present, love lust cannot it doesn't it has nothing to feed on.
Right. Right. It
It
has no
needs
room.
yeah, it needs
Yeah.
something to feed on to be able to latch on and to bring the destruction and the separation, the jealousy, the envy, the
Hmm.
resentment, all of those negative energies
Right.
that come from that. So as we embrace that, I'm seeing it in my office.
Mm.
This young lady, she don't say it, but she walks in so much love and compassion for those that are under her charge, and everybody's older than her.
Mm.
Everybody's older than her, but she has a brilliance about her, and she has a tremendous heart, and that is the energy she pours in to her
Mm.
section.
Mm.
The other sections don't have that. I've been there 30 years, and I've seen the spirit in different areas. I haven't seen this like this.
Mm.
I haven't. And people say, "When are you
Wow.
gonna retire?" Don't worry about when I'm gonna retire. I like where I'm at. I
Mm-hmm.
love the environment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so giving. It's just it's almost like not even being at work.
Wow. That's an imagination of mine, and
It is. It is.
that
It
is
is.
it's not a
It is.
vision, but it's going to be an
It
imagination of
is.
mine.
And I envisioned her into that position.
Mm.
And she told me, she said, I couldn't do this. I couldn't have done this without you. She told me that.
Yeah.
So I'm this is such a powerful topic. I wish
Yeah.
I mean my hope and my desire and my 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 imagined vision is that
Hmm.
everyone gets to see this video who is wrestling with
Yeah.
their own self-worth,
Mm.
because many people do not love themselves or see themselves the way their creator sees them.
Right.
They've looked through the lens of other men and women, which is
Mm.
warped, distorted, and incorrect.
Wow. Wow. So is that an invitation for next week's topic so that you can be a part of our conversation? Yeah, I am not ashamed to ask you on live. No, no, but yeah, I really wanted this topic to to come out because there's a whole lot of talk that I've been getting, a lot of some of my friends that are in situations that my heart goes out to them, and some of them say, you know what, Zanetta, you're right, I stayed too long. I said, but no, you had to come to that realization first. You had
Yeah.
to really understand first what your value is. what
Hmm.
is what is where do you see yourself in this picture, in this relationship? Or if you have to contend to go down the street, then you might want to have to ask, what type of relationship do you
Yeah.
really have, or do you have a relationship?
Hmm. I
With
agree. I
you,
agree.
yeah, with my husband, he has a very expensive hobby, very expensive hobby. So he's a pilot,
Hmm.
and but he does. I mean, he's not a pilot as in his job. He was a pilot in the Navy, and he still loves to fly, and he has his pilot license. Well, to go flying for an hour could cost anywhere from $600 to $700. And so one time I told him, I said, "Go, just
Hmm.
go. Here's some. Go do what you love.
Hmm.
And he was like, really? That's a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
cares? And
Yeah.
so one day he surprised me. And he said, we're gonna go flying. We're gonna go have lunch.
Wow.
And that's what they call the $100 hamburger. The hamburger really isn't $100, but that's what the pilots call.
And see, again,
Yeah.
you're demonstrating the reward that love brings.
Mm.
And I want to say this to anyone who would hear this, that if you're in a situation that is, it's toxic, that
Yes.
is harmful to your self-esteem, it could be impacting your children, it could be impacting your quality of
Yes.
life.
Yes.
You can you can make up your mind and you can begin to see yourself out of
Hmm.
that situation. And when you do that, there's a part of you, your subconscious, that will begin to create the energy and the opportunity for you to come out of that. The Jews, when they were in bondage in Egypt for 440 years under Pharaoh, they wanted to leave, but they couldn't.
Mm.
But they were brought out. They didn't just leave, they were brought out.
Mm.
And many times the creator will allow circumstances to formulate around you and create and bring the person or persons or situation into your life to pull you out of the bondage that you're in. Because the scripture says, by our words are we justified
Justified.
or made free, and
Hmm.
by our words are we condemned or imprisoned. So
Wow.
if your words and what you see, what you believe, what you speak is freedom, liberty, and you desire to do this so you can walk in the love wherewith you have been made free, I believe that the circumstances will be created to bring you out of and bring you into the place of promise that is ordained for you. I believe every one of us, there's a
Wow.
tremendous promise of blessing that is in store. Neville Goddard wrote a book called The Law and the Promise. The
Hmm.
law was on the power of the imagination and how you can imagine and envision and on an object or a desire to the point that it hardens into physical reality. I've witnessed this, I've lived it. And the promise was the promise of the coming Redeemer who came in the form of Christ to redeem us and reconnect us back to the Creator so we could walk in the place of ownership in the earth, taking dominion, having the ability to subdue the earth, to rule and to reign over the dominion that's been given to us. That is God's plan for man. It is not
Mm.
for us to walk in a slavish stupor where you don't know up from down, left from right, and life is just sweeping you along like you're going through a sewer. That is not the plan of the creator for his creation.
Wow. I am, gosh, I'm trying to hold back tears because, God, uh, when when you started explaining or really expounding on how the children of Israel was brought out um, because they didn't walk out, but they were brought out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just saw my bondage, my you know that several times I wanted to just have this freedom, this because I didn't see it as bondage first. At first, I saw it as this is how it's supposed to be. And when my eyes were opened from external, from just one person, and this one person's talk with me allowed me to see from a different lens,
Mm-hmm.
the lens of love, the lens of this is not supposed to be where I'm supposed to be. This is not
Mm-hmm.
how I'm supposed to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
And in that circumstances, situations started to arise
Yep. That's how it
to
works.
have this individual write it for me to release me.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since, um, gosh,
But
it's
it took that love from that person
yes,
to
that
free you.
that
The
one
only
person.
thing that can free us is love.
Yeah.
Only love can prosper us. Only love can heal us. Only love can raise us up from nothing to someone, from a place of insignificance to a place of significance. Only love can do that. The scripture says that if our good news be hid, it is hid to them who are lost, or those who are in
Mm-hmm.
bondage, in
Yes.
whom the spirits of this world have blinded the minds,
Mm.
lest they should open their eyes and see the good news that we're presenting. And so when that love comes and because love brings light, you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
light, life, and love, they're inseparable.
Mm-hmm.
Life is connection to the creator. Light is illumination. And love is life itself.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
again, God is love. And
Wow.
it's that love. Scientists have found that there's an energy source that exists between the planets and between matter on the planet Earth and even in the celestial bodies. There is energy cords and ties and shards that tie different parts of the universe together. And it said, we believe this may be what some people call God.
Mm.
Because the scriptures tell us that through him, all things were made and all things consist
Mm-hmm.
and are held together by him.
Wow.
So it's that love. It's so, I can't say it enough.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else. I'm not the best speaker. I'm not the most talented guy. I'm not a lot of different things. But one thing I told the Lord, I said, Lord, one thing I have done right. I have never stopped loving you, and I never stopped loving your people from the day you brought me out. I
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of stuff wrong and bumped my head a bunch of times. I got a lot of
Yes.
knots in there,
Yeah,
man.
me too.
You know. But those two things I never let go of. I
Mm.
never let go of his love, and I never let go of a love for his people. And I don't mean church folk. I mean his creation,
Right. Exactly.
which is very different.
Exactly. Totally different. Totally different. Yes. Gosh, this has been a delight. This has been a powerful conversation. We are at an hour and 12 minutes. I can go for another hour, um, but I don't want to take up your time, and I know your time is precious. And I just, man, um, thank you. Thank you so much. So, if you could sum it up of all the great nuggets and wisdom and power and wealth and esteem that you have poured out, can you give us, um, your summary? Is love enough?
Love is not enough. Love is everything. To say love is enough is to quantify it.
Mm,
You
mm,
cannot quantify love.
wow.
You cannot measure it. You can't weigh it. You can't measure its height or its depth because the scripture says, who can know the height, the depth, the breadth, the width, of love? So
Mm,
it's immeasurable. So no, love is not enough. Love is everything.
mm,
And the prayer I used to pray was, Lord, immerse me in your love. I want to bathe in your love. I want it to be in me, on me, around me, beneath me, above me. I want it to be everything I am. I never asked the Lord to make me rich. I never
mm.
asked him to make me famous. I never asked him to give me a Porsche, although he gave me a Porsche. I didn't ask. He gave me a Porsche. He gave me a big house. He gave me a beautiful wife who's way better looking than than me or what I thought I'd ever get. I mean, she is like, oh my gosh,
Yes, yes.
she is all of that and some more.
And some more.
Yeah. And so love is not enough. Love is everything.
Wow.
That's how
Love.
I would sum this up. And
Wow.
once when we embrace that bit of truth, it's simplistic, but it's very difficult to implement because we live in a very selfish, self-centered, self-serving world. But it doesn't mean that you have to allow that to be your paradigm in your life
Mhm.
and in your world. You can create your own world and then walk in it. That's what I do. I create my world
Mm.
and I walk in it. I
Mm.
created a world on my job and I walk in it.
Wow. I can listen to you go on and I mean, I'm serious. I'm serious. We need our own show. So Claudia said, "Great, wonderful conversation." We have it every week. So if you guys would love to tune in, that would be great. Um, we don't do this for the views. We don't do this for the comments. We do this because we want to give out content and good information. And Felice said, "This is deep. You can't quantify
Yeah.
love." And so I'm hoping that for those of you that tuned in and that are going to watch on the replay, give us some topics that you would like to for us to tackle. That send us some questions if you want to be a guest on our Fun Fresh Fridays. Please let me know, and we will ensure that you will have a great time and have an insightful conversation and a conversation that promotes growth and healing. As that is our goal, is to promote growth
Yes.
and healing. And so, James, again, thank you.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
so we're going to talk about how to really love yourself next week. Don't think I forgot.
Well, Janetta, you know, you know what you mean to me, and I always tell you anything for you,
Thank you.
anything for you. You have been a tremendous blessing in our lives, and I will never ever forget it. And so, anytime I can contribute to your vision and your service to humanity, I'm there.
Thank you. And likewise, without hesitation, without even, should I do this?
Awesome.
No, without hesitation. Well, for those of you that sees live with Zanetta and Stefania, well, no, it's actually not Stefania, it's actually James. So, but next week, Stefania, I do believe Stefania will be back. So tune in for next week's episode. And for those of you that are just now being introduced to our show, take a look. We're on YouTube. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. And so catch up on some of the episodes, especially the ones that James has also been a guest. Also, James, if you would like to please plug your show that you have on the TV network and your wow moments and what is the other one?
Your spirit life.
Your spirit life. I listen to it when I'm about to go on an interview with a hostile. So please do let us know, and also where they can find you, and also your books.
Well, my book's on Amazon. Just look for James H. Carpenter Barnes. And I'm also on jd3tv.com. I'm also on the Creative Motion Network. I'm also on the Now Network, and I'm also on ADD TV on Roku. I think Fire Stick. I know Roku and Fire Stick. I think maybe Apple TV. I'm not sure.
Oh, I have Fire Stick.
I think it's. I think they're on there too.
I have four
Um,
Fire Stick.
okay. Wow. But and my books are on Amazon, and I do shows that I post on Facebook under James H. Barnes, under Life Imagined or JW Fusion. So any of those, you can find the teachings that we've done over the last couple of years. I think we've done probably close to between about 250 shows, I guess,
Mm,
on different along this same line.
hmm
And so that's the mission God has given me, and it's not about religion, it's not about tradition, any of that. It's about people connecting to the Creator and experiencing their part in God's plan for man.
hmm Yes. Thank you. I really, really enjoy you. Every time we get together, I really enjoy you.
Anytime, and anytime I'm here
Uh,
and I'm available, I'm here for you to serve.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, for those of you that are again just chiming in, please go back, listen to it, and enjoy the different uh, nuggets and wisdom that James have had talked about with our topic, is love enough? And we would like to hear your feedback. We would like to hear back from you, and hopefully we'll see you on next episode, which is next Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As Stefania would always say, we send you love and we send you passion. Until next time, bye for
Good
now.
night. Bye bye.